Vansh, you are on mute.
Yeah, sorry. So, good evening, everyone. Obviously, a disappointing day for all Indians, but New Zealand have won the first World Test Championship finals, and they are the World Test champions now for the first time ever in the history of cricket. So, that's one thing that I think all our experts would agree, and they would applaud New Zealand for that. I've been joined by Parth, Sachit, Sanmay, and Ankit, and all our viewers from the Third Man Cricket Show as well. So, firstly, yes, I do know it was an important match for India, and they lost it quite disappointingly. So, first of all, I'd like to know your thoughts, starting with Parth and then Sachit.
Yeah, honestly, man, I don't know what to say. Earlier, I was saying that the conditions are same for both the batting lineups, and the main difference will be created by the bowlers. But I think the bowling and the both batting and bowling lineup has disappointed us because if you see the batting, आप ट्रैप पे आउट हो रहे हैं, आप सेटअप पे आउट हो रहे हैं, आपको पता नहीं है कि बॉल इन स्विंग होगा कि आउट स्विंग होगा, एंड you are throwing your wicket away. And if you look at bowling, you don't have a proper plan for the medium pacers. Your medium pacers are not getting that swing, and it's like कि bowlers को मतलब हाथ में बॉल दे दिया और कहीं भी फेंक रहे हैं वो. I mean, you're bowling down the leg side. I mean, giving those byes and giving those runs outside the leg stump, even when you have such low scores on the board, and you are throwing your runs away to the tail enders. I mean, it's really, I mean, disappointing to see, man.
Perfectly put. It's certainly a disappointing day for all Indians out there. We all hoped that our team could, go on till session two. Sachit, I wanted to know your thoughts. Obviously, disappointing thoughts, but what do you have to say about India's performance today?
Honestly, if I start criticizing India, this will never end. So I think I can just say that it was a heartbreaking match. I couldn't for a long. I mean, at the end of it, I just couldn't watch anymore because I mean, India is definitely. I mean, it's undoubtedly the strongest team in the world, and for them to lose the way they did, I think it's just humiliating for Indian fans, to be honest, because you just can't watch such a strong side lose on in this occasion. So disappointing, but of course, I would definitely like to congratulate New Zealand because they've definitely been the better side. They outplayed India in all aspects. That from let's begin with fielding. From fielding to batting, bowling, everything they were just better than India in almost everything, especially coming into this last day. And I think that's where they just took the match away from India. I think before the beginning of this day, I think it was evenly poised. It could have gone both ways. It could have ended in a draw. We discussed that at the beginning of our show. Before the day began, and the way they played, I think they just outplayed India and took over the World Test Championship, and well deserved, of course, but just heartbreaking as an Indian fan.
Yes, perfectly put. All our comments are saying that Kane Williamson is a true champion and he certainly deserves this ICC Test mace. A few words for New Zealand, Sanmay, and then Ankit.
Yeah, they were the better side. As we all know, they set our batsmen very good. They set the field really well, and the difference between India and New Zealand is they have got good tailenders who can bat, and they were the disciplined side. Whether with bat or ball, they were the most disciplined side in this finals.
Yes. Ankit, your thoughts on New Zealand's performance today?
See, I mean, what I throughout observed what New Zealand did was they were just too good with the decisions. I mean, from itself, from the toss, see something toss is something which is not in the hands, but the decisions you take from the toss and to the end of the match. These are the things you have in the hand. And the first bravest decision Kane took was to ball first, and then five pacers he went, then executed the plans very well, and one step ahead every day. I think I will say actually that New Zealand were one step ahead from in every aspect. If you see fielding, you take then their bowling and their last day batting was just today's batting was just good to watch after bad first innings.
perfectly put. We often look at what happened in the second innings, but you're right that right from the decision making, they were quite brave enough to go with the five seamers, and that decision certainly paid off here. But what do you have to say about the middle order that India played today? What do you have to say about their approach? Do you think they were too aggressive, or do you think they could have, batted 15-20 overs and just played for a draw, starting with Parth?
Yeah, like I said, they had no clue about where will the ball swing. If you look at Rohit Sharma getting out, I mean, without offering a shot, he was expecting that outswinger, and but got trapped and set up by the in-swinger. If you look at Rahane in the first innings, I mean, he was in two minds whether to play that ball or whether to, I mean, get the ball to the boundary rope. And if you look at Virat Kohli in both the innings, in the first innings, I mean, he was set up by that out swinger from Jameson, then got out on the in swinger, and same in the second innings. I mean, the bowler was same, but the setup was different. He was consistently bowling in swingers to Virat Kohli, then suddenly an out swinger. I mean, Virat Kohli was thinking that the ball will come at him. I mean, in an in swinger, but he got trapped and edged that ball on the fifth stump. And if
Yes,
you look at Rishabh Pant, I mean, there's a thin line between careless and carefree. I mean, the
yes,
approach that India might have adopted would be carefree, because you should not worry about the result. I mean, you should stay in the process and play your game and be carefree about the result. But Rishabh Pant had a completely careless approach. I mean, you could have seen he was stepping out of the crease. I mean, not getting the ball onto the bat. I mean, कुछ भी लप्पा मार रहा है, मतलब वो बिना बॉल देखे. After Rahane got out, I mean, you should have after Rahane got out, I mean, you should have a defensive approach. I mean, for some overs. I mean, to build a partnership. But right after Rahane got out, the next ball that he had, I mean, it's what to say. I mean, hitting. I mean, coming forward and hitting the ball, not getting quite onto the bat, and getting beaten again and again of the bowling of Wagner. I think it's completely. I mean, what should I say? I mean, they had no clue. I mean, where the ball is coming, where should we hit? I mean, they had no
yeah.
clue about the fielders. I mean, New Zealand set the Indian batsman. I mean, very good.
Yes, certainly the disappointment coming in from all our fans here. Abhinav is sarcastically commenting everything, but yeah, the disappointment is understandable at the moment. But another word for New Zealand, because they were in a tough position when Ashwin took those two wickets of the two left-handers, the two opening batsmen. Ankit, did you at that time have any hope of an India miracle, or like three or four more wickets to fall?
Yeah, if you see, Ashwin is something we have seen him doing in the last 2018 England tour as well. When I think Cook and Jennings were the openers, and he got both them. And throughout the series, that's what Indian approach was, to get Ashwin in the wickets. Yeah, I definitely thought, but again, Williamson and Taylor are experienced batsmen, and that's what it shows. Even they are the righty batsmen, so at times I thought Jadeja should have brought a bit earlier, because he was generating some spin. Even as per, if you compare to Ashwin, Ashwin wasn't getting some that much of spin, but
Yeah.
when Jadeja balled in the rough areas, he got some turn. So I think maybe there was a chance that Indian team. I guess they missed it, but I think tremendous batting from both the players, and that's how they have got such a great and tremendous victory.
I
Right,
was
right.
just surprised why Virat Kohli didn't brought Ravindra Jadeja after Ashwin got those two wickets. I mean, you could have
Hmm.
seen the ball was completely turning, but then he kept on bowling from Bumrah, who was not looking in rhythm. He was, I mean, his line and length were totally out of his control. I mean, he kept on bowling on those leg sides and keep leaking those four runs down the leg side and buys. So I think Virat Kohli should have brought Jadeja after those two wickets.
Okay, okay. An interesting point there. Such a just a word on Ross Taylor and BJ Watling. Ross Taylor, obviously, we've not heard it officially, but this could probably be his last Test match. We're still not quite sure about the decision that he's going to make, but he always wanted to win a final and then retire, is what he had said in one of his interviews. So, just a thought for Ross Taylor and BJ Watling, obviously playing his last Test.
I think it's a great send off to Ross Taylor because he also hit the winning shot. That would
Yeah.
obviously be very. He'd hold it close to his heart. So that would be very nice to just see such a legend of New Zealand cricket retire in such a nice fashion because winning. This is their first ever ICC trophy win. So again, for Ross Taylor to have won such an iconic match and hit the winning shot, that would definitely feel really good for him as well. And BJ Watling, of course, he's been the pillar of support for New Zealand for his entire career. The way he's contributed to New Zealand's success has been immense, and just again, he would also be very happy that New Zealand won an ICC trophy in his last ever Test match. So that would, of course, be very happy for both of them. And yeah, I mean, I think you don't have to be a New Zealand fan to appreciate what they've done. So.
Yes.
So definitely, I feel that it's really happy. I for one am really happy for them, and I think every cricket fan would be very happy for these two legends of New Zealand cricket.
They certainly would be, but I'd like to correct you there, Sachit. This is New Zealand's second ICC trophy. The first one they won was the Champions Trophy in 2000. So, but obviously an ICC trophy after 21 years. So that's a big thing, and the first ever World Test Championship. So the nothing can beat that feeling for Ross Taylor and BJ Watling there. But Parth, again, I'll come to you, man. Do you think India could have gone with another pacer? I've asked this question a lot of times on this show, but do you think that Jadeja, instead of Jadeja, we could have gone with Siraj to bring in more control with the fast bowling attack?
Look, we can now go on कि इसको खिला देते उसको खिला देते ऐसा होता फिर वैसा होता but playing with two spinners really didn't help us because you are bringing your two spinners at the end of the test match. I mean, you're not bothered to let them go in the start of the innings. And I mean, with the bat also, I mean, we didn't get any help from them. So
Yes.
yeah, we could have thought of playing Shardul or Mohammad Siraj. I mean, but अब क्या बोल रहे हैं, मतलब जो हो गया सो हो गया. I mean, let's look forward and see what happens.
Certainly. If I had to ask you about the player of the match for you guys, who would it be? Starting with Ankit, would it be Kyle Jamieson with those crucial wickets? He got a fifer in the first innings, obviously, or will it be Tim Southee who provided them with those crucial runs as well as 4 wickets in the second innings and the 1 wicket in the first innings? Who do you think would it be for New Zealand?
Maybe Jamieson. He was just too good in the first innings, and 5 wickets in the first, and then 2 odd wickets I think he got in the second. So overall, and he contributed with the bat as well, like Southey. But so some crucial. I think this is a big moment for Cal Jamieson. I mean, just New Zealand as a unit, it is itself a big moment for them because last
Yes.
4-5 years has been a bit hard. Uh, Considering their knockout performances, so this is a really good and we have to appreciate them. And sometimes what happens is the opposition team plays better than you, so we can't say much about Indian team. Yeah, there were times where they may have taken some good decisions, and their approach they should have executed well, and I think that India missed, but New Zealand really outclassed us in all departments.
Well put up. Sean asks that let's talk about Jamieson's smile, but he certainly will be smiling, but not us as Indians. Sachit, do you agree with Ankit there as Kyle Jamieson to get the Player of the Match award?
Undoubtedly, the kind of wickets that he got as well. It's not just how he bowled and not just getting a 5-wicket haul and then a 3, if I'm not wrong. But the kind of wickets that he got as well, because it's not easy getting one of the world's best batsmen out twice. So I feel that is something that he will definitely cherish for a long time. And just the impact that he's had, to get India out that quickly in 2 innings is not easy. And the kind of
Yeah.
bowling that New Zealand has done, and especially the kind of bowling that Kyle Jamieson has done, I think he needs to be given as much credit as possible. And he also not just bowled well, he also batted well. He got in crucial 21 runs. If had they not gotten that, then India would have gotten a much smaller lead. So I feel
Yeah.
that Kyle Jamieson contributed with the bat as well with the ball. So I feel that he's definitely the best player of this match at least.
Parth, if you had to choose a player of the match from the batting point of view, whom would you choose for New Zealand?
For New Zealand, I will choose definitely Kane Williamson
Hmm.
because in the first innings he played a Pujara type innings.
Yeah.
I mean you saw that collapse of New Zealand, but he kept batting from one end and I mean he carried the innings forward and carried the batsman coming with him. I mean forward, and I mean the way he was playing. I mean he didn't look uncomfortable at one point of time.
Yeah.
He was leaving every ball outside the off stump, unlike the Indians. And I mean he also was playing the ball coming in. I mean with full confidence and was not trapped in any setup or such kind of thing. So I think he is my player of the match.
A true captain's knock there by Kane Williamson, as rightly
And
Parth
also
mentioned.
and also
Yeah.
his plans in the fielding. I mean it was
Yes.
just amazing to see.
Well, absolutely yes. I was amazed by a few fielding positions that Kane Williamson put in, but then they certainly did pay off. Where do you think, Ankit, India lost the match? Do you think it was Rahane's dismissal in both innings, or do you think it was Pant's dismissal today? Where do you think like India lost the match on a overall basis?
See, I think this is not just any specific moment where India lost. They lost couple of moments. I think itself from the first day they got to a very good start, and then capitalizing such starts is something more important than getting starts. So, and more important is when you play Test cricket, it is the basis of the game that the your defending has to be too good, and leaving the ball is sometimes more important, and that's where India failed. Looking at the Virat Kohli's wicket, I think two away, he's not a player that generally gets out on back foot, and especially in Test cricket. And I think there were many moments, and I think it will take time to talk about that. But I think specifically, I will say that will be I think the lower down wickets India lost when they start from Rahane itself, and that collapse was I think the moment where India lost the match.
Okay, Aditya Gupta has asked a question if Virat Kohli will be dropped as a test captain. I mean, it's a very controversial thing to say and a very tough thing to say as well. I know fans get a lot emotional after India loses, but Sachit, would you like to answer that?
Uh, that is, I mean, that's a very bold statement. That's obviously not going to happen. Virat Kohli is one of, I mean, in my opinion, he is definitely one of the best captains that India has had. So I feel that I don't think he should be dropped as a captain. But it's disappointing to watch the best batsman in the world get out the way he did. The moment Virat Kohli comes to England, I don't know what happens to him. He chases balls outside off some like a kid chases ice cream trucks. Just it's like he's not going to looks as though he's not going to let any opportunity to go to get out on a ball outside off. So it's just disappointing to watch. But apart from that, as a captain, I think Virat Kohli is definitely India's best in Test cricket at least. And
Hmm.
I think that Virat Kohli is I mean, for now, I think he should be the captain, and I think he will groom the future of Indian Test cricket. So I
Right.
feel that as captain, he should just continue. But he's got to address that problem in England, man. You can't chase outside off some balls like that. So that's
Also,
just sad.
yeah,
Apart from that, yeah, Virat Kohli definitely the captain.
also he carried the team to the World Test Championship final. I mean, after reaching the final and you lost the match, you can't just replace him as a captain.
The only thing I
Obviously.
would like to point out is that Virat Kohli probably has a jinx everywhere because even with RCB is not able to win, even with India is not able to win as a captain. I don't know what's going on with that. He gets RCB to the finals, he gets RCB till the semi-finals and loses. He
And
gets India
and
to the semi-finals and loses. I
and
don't know what's
and
wrong with him.
उसका लेडी लक भी काम नहीं किया ना इस बार. I mean, after marriage and getting a daughter, I mean, nothing
अभी
against
तो
that,
बे
but just
हाँ
celebrate.
अभी तो बेबी लक भी आ गया है but it certainly doesn't seem to be working there. Let's hope it works in the future for us as Indians. Parth, I wanted to ask you one positive for India with the bowl and with the bat. If you had to choose one player for India who impressed us in this final, who would it be? With the bowl and one with the bat.
It's. I mean, I have to think a lot to decide the players because, I mean,
With the bowling, do you think
honest.
it was Shami or Ashwin with the bowl?
Uh, I would say Ashwin because he didn't get much opportunity to bowl in the match. But when he
Hmm.
bowled, he took the he took the crucial wickets of both the left-handers, Latham and Conway. But if he would have bowled earlier, I think the result might have been a different. It could also happen a draw.
Okay. Okay. Ankit, what do you think? One batsman for India who stood out in this match?
I think for me it will be Rohit Sharma. He was just too good, and especially more than the runs, the way he defended the ball was so important in this format. Before there were always controversies. Rohit Sharma, the good batsman in the one day formats and T20, but this is so good to watch that he just not managed to score runs, but at the same time the way he played the first sessions, even in the first innings, because not many openers managed to get to a good start and. I think Rohit Sharma got to the start. Sadly, he couldn't utilize it, but I think it was a positive for him. And from the bowler's point of view, I will say it Ashwin because he was too good. It's not the first time. Even if Kohli would have given the ball in the first innings, he would have got the wickets. But Shami was not inconsistent. Or I would have named Shami as my favorite bowler throughout the match.
Right, right, right. Sachit, do you agree with Ankit, or do you think Shami was the standout bowler?
For me, I think I would choose something very different. For me, it was Ishan Sharma because he was the only one in the Indian team who could actually get some swing. The others were just bowling straight deliveries. It was sad to watch. The kind of swing that New Zealand were producing, India weren't able to. And Ishan Sharma produced that swing. He got crucial wickets even in the first innings. He got Kane Williamson out. He got Henry Nichols out. Those are big wickets. Those are and Devon Conway, was on 54. So obviously, I think he got high caliber wickets. He got some big wickets that India was struggling to get. Kane Williamson had settled and he was playing really well. And Ishan Sharma got that wicket. Obviously, I think Ishan Sharma needs to be given credit. So for me, he's the standout bowler. In terms of batting, of course, Rohit Sharma, because if you see the way that openers struggle in English conditions, we spoke about it from the very beginning of this match that it's very crucial that the openers survive and get some runs.
Right.
If any team survives the first 30 minutes to 1 hour of a Test match in England, then they definitely will go on to get some runs. And Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill could do that, and Rohit Sharma capitalized as well. He did it on both occasions. So obviously that's the biggest positive. And if Rohit Sharma continues to play the way he is, then I think he can be just as effective in Test cricket as he is in ODIs and T20s.
Perfectly put. I personally believe that India lost the match in the first hour of every session because they were so disappointing, and New Zealand obviously dominated with the ball and with the bat as well after every session begun. So that was my thought. But yeah, Ronak and even Abhinav have mentioned, and even Omkar now has mentioned that we should look at the positives. We should not start trolling the Indian team directly because it's they've reached a final. It's not a small thing, but certainly some questions will be asked about the Indian team. So one final question to all of you. India are obviously playing England now. The tour will start in what, 20-25 days from now on. So Parth, do you see India making any changes for the tour, or do you think that this is the best 11 India can have?
I don't think it's about the changes. I think it's more to do with the mindset you are playing with.
Right.
Uh, yeah, getting you should have those plans while you're bowling with the fast bowlers like Neil Wagner had. He had a leg slip. One fielder. On each side of the square leg umpire. Then a short mid wicket, a deep mid wicket. You should have
Yes.
those kind of plans. To get the wicket and get aggressive. And same goes
Hmm.
with the batting. You should know where the ball will swing, in swing and out swing. You should know. You are playing at the highest level. If the
Right.
ball is coming with the clear seam position, I think it will swing. And if it's the ball is coming with a scramble position, it will come with the arm and get straight into you. So I think it's more to do with the mindset approach.
Okay, Yogen Sawant here thinks that team selection is where India should improve on. Ankit, do you agree with Yogen here, or do you think that it's the mindset and not the team selection?
I think we have an opposition right now. The way they took decisions, we can learn from them. Of course,
Right.
however, because we like to learn, and there is always a learning track when you play big stages. So I think looking at that, they took really good decisions. But yeah, team selection is important. At the same time, I will say the dressing room right now will be a bit disappointment again. And if you remember Virat Kohli in 2019 after the semis lose, he said that the feeling of losing after waking up every morning it's too bad. So I think this maybe the next couple of days is not gonna be easy. So I think we have a month to prepare for the England tour. I think so. Virat Kohli will have to create a positive environment, and as well, I don't see any changes coming in the first Test match of the England match.
Okay, okay. Sachin, do you think your Hyderabad friend from in Mohammad Siraj will come in, or do you think Jadeja and Ashwin will still start the playing 11
I
for
think
सचिन
England?
पिला सचिन पिलाए मुझे खिला लो भाई मैं भी हैदराबाद से
hopefully, of course. But no, man. I mean, look, I feel that England, I mean, India were probably looking for experience in this match. They were trying to get the most experienced team into this game and, bank on experience. But I feel that in the England series, they'll probably experiment a little. So I
Hmm.
think I definitely see Mohammad Siraj coming into the side. With four pacers and Ashwin being their lead spinner, that would definitely be a very, strong bowling attack. So I feel that I feel that I mean I can see that change coming. This one they were
Okay.
just looking for experience, but yeah, in England I would definitely see Mohammad Siraj making it into the 11, or maybe Shardul Thakur. We never know between them, but either
Yes.
of them I think will definitely make it into the side.
Well, certainly, Yogen here is obviously agreeing with you on the Shardul Thakur fact that he adds swing as well as his batting is
The
quite good.
personality, the
So,
personality mentioned that Shardul Thakur will replace is probably wrong. I feel that Jadeja would probably be replaced by Shardul Thakur, not Ashwin. They can't replace Ashwin at the moment.
yes, yes. Ashwin will be a big risk because he's such an asset to the Indian team. Obviously, Ashwin is the leading wicket taker of the World Test Championship in these 2 years now. The second one, obviously, being Pat Cummins with 70 wickets. So, in and all, it was a great, great season for Test cricket. I hope Test cricket is the new modern, the modern trend in cricket as well as with the fans. So, let's hope for the best now. And unfortunately, that's the time we've got on the show. And thank you, Parth. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Sachit, for being here and analyzing the game for us. New Zealand obviously are the World Test champions, and there's no one who can remove that fact now. So, New Zealand, congratulations to them,
not
and
not even rain
yeah, not even rain can remove the fact that New Zealand are champions now, and not even a super over can decide that now. So New Zealand certainly are the champions. Well played to India. Let's meet in the Indian series to England now. So yeah, thank you guys, and thank you to all our subscribers as well.